My official do's and don'ts for eclipse season. Let's get into it. We got this. We have a total solar eclipse in Leo, August 12th. Then we're ending eclipse season with a partial lunar eclipse in Pisces. Let's get into it. The first do of the eclipse season this August is to remember that before a beginning can happen, an ending has to occur. We have to find a resolution. And in that process, we may even see a resurgence. And so that's what's going to be happening, especially around this total solar eclipse in Leo. What the South Node does is that it pulls back the layers. It sheds whatever sign it's in. Now, Leo is a sign about our vitality. It's about where our light comes from. It's about self-expression and what we attach our identity to at the most core level. Right? And so if something is off kilter there, that is going to be coming into your consciousness during this solar eclipse in Leo on August 12th. Nothing bad's going to happen. You're not going to die. What's going to die is your fears, right? Your fears are going to be dying with this solar eclipse in Leo. And that's going to feel like you are dying because perhaps your identity is attached to your own obstacles, your own fears, the things that are holding back your ability to be yourself. There's people that might be removed from your life because they do not have your best interest at heart, because they will never give you the validation or approval that you want or the safety to be who you really are, right? This is going to be activating the fixed signs, Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, especially the risings, and of course, Leo and Aquarius, especially if you have later degree or early degree placements in these signs. And this is what takes me to my first don't of eclipse season, is to stop performing. Stop performing. This is where you might have to be a little bit humbled. You might have to become aware of your own hubris. What is telling you, actually, no, keep going harder, keep forcing it, keep trying even more. And it's like, actually, you might need to be stepping back. When you feel like you're putting on a costume, when you feel like you're doing something even though you know you shouldn't be doing it, when you feel like you're participating in something that you shouldn't actually be doing, it's keeping you out of alignment. Right? Leo rules the heart. Is your heart still in it? And if not, is it time to walk away? Is it time to revisit something that you've been holding on to for so long? Maybe now that's relevant. Something that's been hiding in your life, something that's been lying dormant in your life is now opening its eye and ready to be summoned. It's ready to be awakened. There's a part of your identity, your personality, right? Your transformation that has not been unlocked. And with this total solar eclipse in Leo, it's waking up, right? And this is another one of my very important do's for eclipse season. So write this one down. Start fulfilling your own needs. Your Leo house is going to be very activated by this total solar eclipse. And because we have the South Node there, the South Node drains, right? It's like when, and so this is what takes me to what I like to call the defective Leos. The defective Leos. Some of them are defective. No shade. And it's because there is a need for approval. This is a huge, huge wound for Leo, is the need for other people's satisfaction in what they are doing. It's not enough for Leo to be satisfied with what they're doing. They need other people to be just as excited about what they're doing as they are, right? And so the reason why this happens for Leo is because they're not fulfilling their own needs. So they try to fill that need by other people's approval, other people's applause, right? Other people's acknowledgement. And so this becomes like filling up a cup that has a hole in the bottom. It's never going to be enough. And also the funny thing about Leo is that sometimes they can think that they are the first to do something and they're the first to discover something. And that if they're fascinated by something, that like that means that like it's just, it's revolutionary. Leo wants to be revolutionary because it's opposite the sign of Aquarius, right? Leo actually wants to be different desperately. That's something that they really, really crave. And so a lot of times when people associate that with Aquarius, with like, I'm just so different than everyone else, Leo is actually way more the perpetrator of that. And so what can wind up happening is that Leo kind of gets discouraged because they're super excited, they're super fascinated, and if people don't give them that reaction, Leo just wants to give up. And the really important lesson surrounding Leo energy is to understand that your steadiness and that your relentlessness is actually a gift. Leo is a fixed sign. So your ability to be fucking weird, to do exactly the opposite of what people want you to do, of what people are expecting, is actually what's magnetizing. So you kind of have to do a little bit of backwards math with this total solar eclipse in terms of finding something that really fulfills you. Often it is not, often it doesn't make everyone happy, right? And it's impossible to make everyone happy. Eventually you're gonna have to start disappointing some people. You're gonna have to start not living up to certain people's expectations, especially considering the parents, right? The family. These are things that Leo was also associated with. The tribe. You might have to be a little defective, and that's okay. And that's okay. And so the understanding about this total solar eclipse is understanding that you are the hero, you are the main character, but you're also the villain. You're also your own villain. The villain is pulling back its mask, and the big reveal is that it's you, right? And what's important to understand about the overarching theme of this eclipse season is that you've kind of got to detach from the moments that you disappointed yourself, the moments that you didn't impress yourself and live up and proceed your own expectations every time. Life doesn't really work that way, and you kind of have to get over yourself a little bit, right? Another do for this eclipse season is to plan around the lunar cycle. Mars is entering Cancer right before the solar eclipse. It's going to be ruled by the eclipse energy, okay? I want you every day to be looking at what sign the moon is in, because of course Cancer is ruled by the moon. The moon changes signs every 2.5 days. Plan around the lunar cycle. Plan around the ebbs and flows and the peaks and the depths, okay? Plan around that. Do not expect things to be linear. Expect things this eclipse season, this August, to be quite circular, quite spirally, if you will. You don't have to be in this decision paralysis that people will encourage you to do during eclipse season. You can't make decisions, you can't do anything, you can't take risks during eclipse season. It's more so just give yourself time to sleep on it. Let the dreams come to you, right? Trust the signs. You're just going to have to get a little bit weird with it. You're just going to have to trust the intuition. You're just going to have to trust your psychicness less than, okay, I need evidence now. I need something now. I need this to adhere to my strict guidelines. You're just going to have to let go of that, and you're going to have to allow things to be more interpretive. A yes isn't a strong yes, and a no isn't a strong no. There's going to be a lot of wiggle room for things to change. Another do for this eclipse season is to be more honest, to be more open, to be more fucking for real with yourself. And another do is that a lot of the fearlessness that you're going to gain from this eclipse season is going to be permanent, right? You're going to be looking back at yourself from this August and be like, wow, the things that used to bother me no longer bother me. I have a certain level of peace that I did not have before. Do not miss out on the ability with this eclipse season to experiment, to trial and error, right? To put things to the test and see what emerges. To look at this eclipse season like the clay, the block of clay that it is, very, very moldable. What do you want to get out of this energy? What do you want to be around the corner? What do you feel like this new era, what are you sensing is going to be happening, right? Outside of logic, what are you feeling? What are you drawn towards? What feels close? What are you on the precipice of? What have you been avoiding? What have you been restricting yourself from? Where have you been hissing from the light? That part of you is ready to start running free. It's ready to start running wild. It has been held back for too long. And it's gotten to the point where it's primal, it's feral, and it cannot be tamed. It can't be domesticated. Don't try to domesticate it. Make more room for it. Make more space for it. Good luck.